It's week 4 of the National Football League, and it's presented by EA Sports. It's the Bills and the Ravens under the lights on Sunday night.
With Chesapeake Bay gleaming in the distance, we are inside M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, Maryland. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Raven team as they get ready here. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Bills, they come in on a pretty good roll here, winners of 3 straight. It's 3-0 versus 2-1, a good early season battle as we're underway in week 4. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. So here come the Bills on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by Gardner Minshew, 6th-round selection in 2019 out of Washington State.
Okay, I'm not taking a turn to negative town, even though it's going to sound like it. The 2 interceptions he threw last week, those obviously have to be eliminated, and that was the focus of practice this week. But let's face it, he did throw 3 touchdown passes.
And they got the win.
So I think it was a good week for him to work on things. Had some positives, the win being first and foremost. Now he's just got to eliminate those interceptions.
The numbers for Mixon last week: 24 carries, 107 yards, and the touchdown.
And the way they ran the ball in last week's game has to be satisfying to their entire staff, because they're seeing not just a back gain big yardage, but they're seeing an offensive line really in sync.
Here's Minshew. That's going to be caught by Samuel. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll leave him with a 3rd and 2. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. That's good for a first down, his 2nd catch of the opening drive. The Bills hit 3-0 here in the month of September. And they come in on a pretty good roll here, winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Mixon with a first down carry. Oh, he shifts past him. And he's going to have a Bills first down as the tackle made it about the 43-yard line. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
They'll run for the first time with James Conner. And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. That's a 12-yard gain now on back-to-back plays. With that last effort, he topples the 5,000-yard mark for his career.
And that doesn't place you among the absolute greats that have ever played the game, but it's a significant achievement and a very, very solid career.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now here's Samuel on the end around. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Next, the receivers have spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
They run behind center with Conner. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all this stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And they'll get him down right around the 16. Tackled that time by Jerome Baker out of Ohio State.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
Looking to throw it, Minshew. Open man is Samuel, complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now Minshew. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Nick Benito coming in there to record the sack.
Well, it's up about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. On now is the kicker Jason Myers for the field goal try. From the left hash, this from 39. Myers' kick is good, and the Bills' opening drive yields 3. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well, and kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So here come the Ravens now, ready to get the football for the first time. They'll be led out by their rookie quarterback, the latest in a long line of NFL QBs from USC.
And last week, that was one of those games that he just wants to erase from his memory banks, but I'll guarantee his coaching staff won't let him do it. They're going to make him learn from it. He really looked like a rookie quarterback in that one. He's going to have those kind of outings in year one, but the big question, what does he take away from them, and how does he improve? It starts right here in this game.
You look at this Buffalo defense. They were very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
And the big thing for them was the interceptions. And you hear teams all the time talk about establishing themselves against the pass, you know, no-fly zones and things of that nature. This group had a bunch of them in last week's game.
It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10. Duvernay in motion. Throwing is Williams. He'll leave it for Montgomery, complete. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Well, this defense for the Bills, they were very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
Williams from the gun on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hekker to punt it away. Fielded just inside the 20. 39-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try and get too greedy. But let's face it, good runners always want to be a little bit more greedy at the end, try and squeeze out every last yard. He's going to try and duplicate that and exceed it in this game.
But Nick Bonito not letting him escape there. He was in instant pursuit off the snap and dropped him behind the line. Minshew sets to throw. That's to the first-round pick, Ricky Pearsall. And he'll be out right at the 35. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Bills 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
15 yards that time, and a Buffalo 1st. His first carry of their 2nd drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their 1st drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurtling through them.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Mixon. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Here, look at this Baltimore defense.
They're a tough unit to throw against. Currently 4th toughest in the NFL.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
Throwing on 2nd down. Minshew. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. Just a gain of a couple there. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to be taken down at the 39, clearly short of the 1st by a few yards. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The Bills with the football as we start quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 4th down coming up. Sean McDermott didn't hesitate. They'll go for it on 4th. On 4th down, Minshew. A short one there, caught by Likely. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it. But in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. Running left, it's Mixon. And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the two tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
Back to Mixon on first down. Jordan Fuller there to take him down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On 2nd and 9, Minshew working the middle here. That's complete to Everett, the tight end. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
The Bills on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it with Conner. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. 41 yards rushing for him now. He's only carried the ball 4 times.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. Mixon will take this over the line. Touchdown, Buffalo.
2 good drives on their first 2 possessions. Remember, the first wound up in a field goal, but we all know field goals aren't going to cut it in the NFL, so they're not going to be denied here, and they wind up punching this one into the end zone.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. So that drive spans 13 plays, and it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. Off the play fake, it's Williams. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
Here's Williams. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hawkinson. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. His first catch, good for 14 there and a 1st down.
And plays like that show why Hawkinson continues to be a consistent playmaker here in his 6th year in the NFL. He's finished with over 900 receiving yards in each of the last 2 seasons.
And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down. Going up the gut, Montgomery. And he'll take it across midfield and into Buffalo territory.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And not only will he not get the few inches he needs, he's going to go backwards. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So on now is Johnny Hecker to punt this one away. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. Here's James Conner now as he trots back onto the field. He's been effective so far over the 40-yard mark here in the second quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And good yardage as he gets this one up to about the 23. 41 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Back to Mixon on second down. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Flushed out right. That is caught. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused.
Must have.
It had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
After the penalty, it's Mixon. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
Samuel going to go in motion right. He'll get it here on the jet sweep. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
And I think that's going to go down as no gain, but that doesn't seem fair for the effort that was presented on that play. That should go down as a loss. I know, I'm a defensive guy, but you got to like the play that was made.
He made a lot of those plays last week. He was AFC Defensive Player of the Week, picking up where he left off. Out of the gun is Minshew. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way, a dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. They'll set up a throw. Hitting Samuel on the slant. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 40. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40. Connor up the middle. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
They'll go play action here with Minshew. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Looking to throw. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Minshew not coming off. They'll try and go for it. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So after the conversion on 4th, here's 1st and 10 just outside of the red zone. Again, Minshew looking to throw. That's over the middle and caught by Pearsall. So the completion good for 7 there, and that will bring up 2nd down. Yeah, looks like they'll move things around here.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 15-yard line.
From the gun, Minshew to throw. Throw right side is into the hands of his tight end, Everett. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Gerald Everett, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bills will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. So they get their tight end away from the line to the outside, and he works his way in for 6.
Tight ends are not just blockers anymore. I don't know how many more times we need examples, but here's a great one. Gets to the outside, they give him the ball pretty quickly, and they trust him to get those extra yards, and boy, did he come through, bullying his way into the end zone after the nice catch.
Extra point up and through by Myers, and that makes our score 17-0. So that one a 13-play drive in total, and it ends in a Buffalo touchdown.
Jason Myers set to kick off.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Raven offense going to take over late in this first half. And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit. To throw, it's Williams. And he finds Montgomery complete. They'll wind up getting just a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
That finds the former Raven, Devin Duvernay. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. The slot man in motion right. Working out of the gun, Williams. And incomplete on the deep ball. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively, or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. And it may just be the second quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. And he is out of bounds right around the 34.
Holding offense.
Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Second and 11. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. 3rd and 9 here. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And they will get to him behind the line, but they're out of timeouts, remember, and the clock continues to wind down. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. .33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. To throw, Williams. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
He's going to float this over the middle, deep. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Okay. And we'll jump right over halftime and keep the game going here in Week 4. Second half kickoff, ready to go. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. A very one-sided first half, 17-0 our score as we get going in quarter number 3. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because, yes, they were totally ineffective in the first half. But we've seen many games that have flipped around in the second half. It all starts with this drive right here. They get something good going, put some points on the board, they begin to have hope.
That's good for a Baltimore Ravens.
Looking to throw is Williams. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
Well, I think everyone who's watching was certainly hoping to see things get a little bit better for them in this half, weren't we? But it was a downright miserable first half that's carried over with an interception to begin the second half. That's a defeated offense right there, and there's still a lot of game left. I don't think that's the last turnover we're going to see today, partner.
So here are the Bills to take over. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well. And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. A handoff, running left, Mixon. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Now Minshew. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Bills first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
An 8-yard pickup. First down, Buffalo.
Off play action, it's Minshew. This goes out wide for Mixon. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch, I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
And once again, they stop him behind the line. Great job by this Ravens defense. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
Minshew sets to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And the Bills are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
They'll give it to Mixon. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
And now defensively, you have to look at this like the game's on the line. It's just the 3rd quarter, but another touchdown given up here could really spell an end to their chances. So they need to toughen up and keep them out of the end zone.
Mixon again. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Buffalo. Joe Mixon, his 3rd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bills take advantage of the field position on the turnover to cash in for 6.
Well, he'd been the workhorse on this drive, and it would have been unfair to bring someone else in to finish the job. So they go back to him again, and he delivers with a touchdown run.
Now Myers for the extra point. And the lead is now 24. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon.
Jason Myers set to kick off.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
23 yards, the final tally. In motion right, that's Harrison. To the air, Williams. He'll get that complete to Harrison. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. From the 47, it's 2nd and 5. Throwing is Williams. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. It'll go as a loss of 3 on the sack, and it brings up 3rd down. A rookie QB struggling, gets thrown down to the ground there. But, you know, maybe this game, it's not over yet, but maybe this game can be a learning experience for him.
So many different things that he has to pick up on. When to go ahead and flush from the pocket and run. When to get rid of the football, not take the sack. When to just go ahead and go down early and make sure you don't fumble the football. So many things that he has to learn. This game starts the process.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A big play there on the catch and run. 39 yards. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Harrison will go in motion left. Williams with a little touch pass forward. And a little bit of space there, takes it inside the 5 to the 3. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down. Here's Williams. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Oh, Brandon, that's a gamer move right there. Facing 3rd down, steps up, calls his own number, and nearly makes the house call. If I'm the coach, I let him take another one right here.
Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. A great effort there. His first NFL reception goes for 6. And the Ravens are able to cut into that deficit. Obviously, the scoreboard right now is not the friend of this rookie quarterback. But, hey, a touchdown pass there maybe builds a little confidence.
Every rep is valuable when you're a rookie. Every time you step up and throw the football, there's a lesson to be learned. Yeah, he took advantage of a little bit of loose coverage there with the lead. But at the same time, got it done. It'll take a little bit of satisfaction away from that throw.
Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples throughout a ball game. Here's a great example right there.
The touchdown here, Santos to kick this one away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Bills offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. The drive will commence with a run by Mixon. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Here's Minshew. That's going to be caught by Samuel. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. Here is 3rd and 5. Looking to throw it. Minshew escaping the pressure right. A short one there, caught by Likely. And he is going to have a Bills first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Mixon with a first down carry. And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground. Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
He'll look to throw. That is caught. And he is going to have a Bills first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Bills with a lead and the football here to begin the 4th quarter. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. They run behind center with Connor. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way, because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Flush to his right. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Throwing to start the drive. Williams Going underneath, he's got Hawkinson. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and that'll bring up second down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now, quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
The Ravens on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, here's Williams. And that will be incomplete. It was Levante David who got the hand in there, knocked that pass away.
The quarterback got away with one there. Looked like he was in line for a pick, but instead it's knocked harmlessly to the turf.
Here's Johnny Hacker now, standing just outside his own goal line. He'll take it at the 42. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And the Bills are going to take over in great position here for the 1st and 10. Here's a handoff to Connor. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Good push from the offensive line, and they've done well so far to build this lead. Now they've got to get things to the finish line. And that's a solid pickup there to begin the drive.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Nixon. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33.
He's taken down at the 33-yard line. It's a gain of 10. And the Bills' 1st down.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll set up to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, and a heck of an effort there as he'll make the diving catch. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. Back to throw now on 1st down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Here's 2nd and 10. Inside handoff to Mixon. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. 78 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
And he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
Well, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They'll set up a throw. And it's caught. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Mixon will score. Touchdown, Buffalo.
And that right there is the definition of a statement drive. You're in the 4th quarter, trying to get to the finish line, and here they were able to hold the ball for a long time and move it down the field. And how about them finishing it off with the touchdown run? Winning football 101, check that box.
The extra point now coming from Myers. Oh, I was just about to say he hadn't missed an extra point all season, but there it is. His first miss, no good. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And now here come the Ravens.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Short completion, just 4 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
At the 32-yard line.
Here we go, set, go. Go.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Over the middle, he'll get it to Harrison.
Now inside the 25.
And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown.
Marvin Harrison Jr.
His 4th touchdown on the year.
And the Ravens have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Well, Charles, kind of the future of this franchise on display right there. You had a rookie throwing it, a rookie catching it, and taking it into the end zone.
Could you imagine if we were in the owner's box right now and we could look at the front office and see the grins on their faces to see the present, making plays, and knowing what the future will bring with these youngsters going out and making big-time moments happen for this team.
Well, partner, since this new 2-point rule came into play, offenses spend a lot more time working on it. That means the defenses are doing the exact same thing.
Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here.
Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Now he's into the clear again, and he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he gets all the way down inside the 20-yard line.
53 yards. First down, Bills.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. On the handoff, Connor. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown.
James Conner
from 17 yards out.
And the Bills are going to be moving to 4-0 as they extend their lead. So that drive there, CD, a good response, and that might be the one that gets them to the finish line, a comfortable lead.
Yeah, and that's all about not letting the team back into a game because they just gave up a touchdown. It was back to a 2-score game, and anything can happen in that situation. But instead, they came through with a really terrific drive right there that ended in 6. So you like to slam the door on teams? In this case, they're trying to lock it as well.
Myers connects on the PAT, and that pushes the lead up to 23. Hardly any time taken off the clock there. 2 plays, and they find the end zone for 6 points. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down.
A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
Past the 20. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. On play action, here's Williams.
And this is going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Jamel Dean. And the Bills are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7.
Well, it certainly felt like he was going to challenge this defense no matter what, and he stepped up and tried to throw it to the outermost edge of the zone coverage, and they were more than ready for him. The problem now is if they are limited in what they're doing throwing the football, they got to figure out how to move it without being able to throw it to the outside and throw it downfield.
Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now. He'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Flushed out right. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Second down and a little more than a yard here.
Running left, it's Mixon. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they're powering through, and they're controlling this game.
It's a gain of a yard, and it takes us to the 2-minute warning. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. 2nd and 9 now from the 21. from the gun. Minshew to throw. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. You take a look at his receiving numbers so far. He's been terrific. Up over 100 yards now for the game. Third and 3. Out of the gun is Minshew. Back to Deebo Samuel for consecutive catches. And he is going to have a Bills first down. It won't be by much. He needed 3, and he got 3, barely. But the mark shows first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out. Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on second down and 11. A handoff to Mixon. Oh, able to avoid him. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. On first and 10 is Connor. And he can only manage to get a couple. Second and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Here's a give to Mixon. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. So it's a victory here for the Buffalo Bills. And we talk so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Error-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate. And you know what I'm talking about. Head coach always stands up in front of the team and says, guys, if we do this, this, and this, we'll win. And usually they say if we win the turnover battle, we'll win. Well, here's the proof right there. Win the turnover battle. Go on to victory. Now the guys believe. You move on to the next lesson where you have to convince them. This one is now planted.
So for Buffalo, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.